Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time for another postcard of the week. And this week, we want to introduce you to our speaker that we will be having this coming Saturday, the November 4, and we'll convene kind of at 1:45 p.m. Central Time here in Wichita, Kansas. We're looking forward to having this speaker and having this increased knowledge, this chance to learn about a kind of a new Western Kansas photographer from the old days, the postcard days. So let me introduce you to Patrick Clement. He has a big, long list of accomplishments, but he's been a longtime friend of mine, and excited to have him here today. And thank you, Patrick. I'll let you go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. Very happy to be here. Thank you for having me, Hal. Yeah, I hope everybody will come and attend the presentation on Saturday. I am doing a presentation on William Bill Kerch, who was a Western Kansas photographer and postcard photographer in the early 20th century. My pitch on the presentation is that often we are working from the postcard down. So we look at people's work and then start to dissect them as people. My presentation is working from the ground up. So I'll be framing his work inside his life events, which I think really impacted the way he worked, where he worked. I think he had a very interesting life. And I think sometimes the flashy cards and the flashy photographers and the FM Steels of the world, who seem to be these sort of swashbuckling, incredible photographers, get a lot of attention. But the sort of blue collar career working photographers can sometimes slip through the cracks. And so my presentation is going to be on one of these fine men who spent their life in photography, William Bill Kerch, and I hope you will join me on Saturday.
Great. Patrick, can you show us one of the postcards that Mr. Kerch did?
So this card is mules that were carried 2 miles from Mullinville, Kansas in 1915, taken by William Kerch, who at the time had a photo car in Mullinville, Kansas. It's pretty common to see buildings and blocks, farmhouses destroyed by tornado. Unusual to see a couple of deceased mules in a field. The subject is very interesting. I would say a couple things I find interesting about this card is that it's unsigned. So you would not know it was William's card unless you had either can match the handwriting, which I have, or have seen the other cards in the series that he took after the tornado. But also that despite the very interesting subject matter, it's not framed especially well. There's a man whose arm is extended. I believe it's a piece of wood or a stick pointing towards town, which is on the horizon, which is no photographer would do that if they knew what they were doing. And then the mules are obscured. You don't really see their full body. They're sort of small in the frame. And what he found the most important part was the paragraph of writing that he needed space for, would be my guess. But if you think about what it took to get this photograph, he had to lug a very heavy camera, probably very humid because of just after a tornado, it's very humid, hot, probably middle of the summer in a jalopy with no roads to get this photograph. So I find it very, very interesting and quite fun.
Oh, I do too. I just think this is wonderful. Please join us this Saturday for Patrick Clement, and we'll see you then. Thank you very much. Thanks, Patrick. There you go.